Hello and welcome to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. Today we're going to do a personality reading on RM from BTS. We're also going to do an ideal partner reading. If you're not familiar with those, I layer two different types of oracle cards together and read on the traits or aspects that would be good in a partner or that he may look for in a partner. But I do not do love readings, so I will not be venturing into what kind of partner, when, where, how, who, any of that. So if you're looking for an actual love reading, I do have other channels I could recommend to you. So if you want to know about that, feel free to ask in the comments. But we're going to start off with the personality reading, which is my Kim Krantz archetype cards. I forget what they're called. Wild Unknown Archetypes. That's what they're called. Okay. And I'll draw about 6 cards and read off of his personality traits, whatever I could get that comes to the surface. Tarot readings are for fun. They're for entertainment purposes only. Everything is alleged, so take them with a grain of salt. Okay, I'll draw 6 cards to see what traits of RM's personality are kind of coming to the surface right now. So we have the lover and mostly the light attribute, which is kind of devoted. They lead with their heart. They're very heart forward. They're probably pretty honest, and he doesn't like bull crap. You know what I mean? Like, he probably likes people that are just pretty brutally honest. I feel like he's kind of that way. I do think he has a Sagittarius moon, so he's a fire sign with his moon, with his emotions. He can be a little volatile, but it also means he's really passionate and open and probably playful and fun-loving and that kind of thing, especially when it comes to being romantic. Sagittarius energy is usually pretty impulsive and really out there and adventurous, so there's a lot of that. He's very open once he trusts somebody. I think he's very devoted. He's very kind of reliable, that person that will be there for you. If he's committed and has expressed that, he will live up to those words. Then we have the mentor kind of in a neutral position. If I can get it up, there we go. While he, academic, and this really stands out because it's kind of like he is pretty learned, but he seems like he learns better on his own. He's not necessarily always great with teaching other people. Because I think people need to know, like, leading and teaching are two different things. Keeping people on task and organized and doing what they need to do is great, but I don't know if he has like the patience to actually be quite a teacher. He's kind of more like great at teaching himself. He likes to go off and learn things kind of on his own without a lot of distractions, and I think he encourages that for other people as well. I don't think he likes to really funny enough, I don't think he really likes public speaking. Like, having a rehearsed song is one thing, but actually when he has to give a speech and that kind of thing, I don't think he really enjoys it. I don't think he enjoys that kind of pressure. I think when it's more artistic, more playful, he's fine. It's one thing when it's at a concert, but it's another thing when he has to actually when he feels out of his element, you know what I mean? Like interviews or things like that, I don't think he particularly likes them. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. So we have the hunter kind of in reverse. His Sagittarius moon can kind of get him in a little bit of trouble with being blunt and maybe not intentionally, but kind of hurting people's feelings when he starts to get a little fed up. When he wants people to back off, he will probably say things that will intentionally be aggressive. He doesn't really like dancing around a subject. This is how I feel. I don't like this. I don't care. You need to back off. And if it hurts your feelings, sorry, not sorry kind of deal. Verbally aggressive when he needs to be. When you're close to him. Like I said, I don't think he'd ever do it to strangers. I think he has a little bit of social anxiety there, maybe. But when he's close to you, yeah, if you kind of are pressing his buttons, he's not gonna be shy about letting you know that. And then we have Kairos in the light attribute. Yeah, so he's not afraid to go do things as far as when they need to get done. He may have a little bit anxiety, as far as he may be nervous. He may not like it, but if something needs to get done, he's just gonna go do it. He doesn't really wait around for other people to take care of things for him. He seems if he has to wait on other people, it'll probably make him mad. He's just like, come on. I just see a lot of him like clapping and to get people's attention and like, come on, let's go. Let's just go. I'm like, don't waste my time. Also, like, he's divinely guided in what he's doing. I think he feels that, he knows that. I don't think he sees another path. This would be probably what he'd always wanted to do, regardless of how much money he was going to make from it. Like, he would always be in the arts. He's just an artistic person, and I think he feels it is his divine path to do what he's doing. So I don't want to say he feels like chosen, but I think he feels he's doing what he was put on this earth to do. And then we have the offering in the shadow. Again, I feel like he's a little selfish with his time. His personal time is definitely his personal time. I just think he's got like an introverted side where he definitely needs to go off and recharge and get away from people, because I do think he's in a position where it's very, very stressful for him. I mean, that shouldn't be surprising, but I do think he's at a point in his life where maybe before he would offer a lot of his free time to help other people, but his free time is so valuable and precious to him now that I don't think he goes out of his way to like see or help people who aren't already in his immediate circle. That era for him has passed, and every moment to himself he has is very valuable to him, and he needs it to recharge. Like, he just can't give away his free time anymore to other people. We have Gnosis a bit in the shadow aspect here too, and it's just mainly playing on that he's in his mind a lot. He's a bit of an overthinker. He has a little bit of social anxiety. Again, he's at this point where I feel like a lot of stuff feels so big to him that he's not sure what he can do to be in control of it, whether it's his fame or the business. I don't know. He just feels overwhelmed with a lot of what's going on around him. So he's kind of in his mind overthinking it, because he can feel helpless or small in comparison to everything that's kind of going on around him. And it could also be the way he's treated. It could be, I want to say, like, not just like the company, but kind of the way the media and other people treat him is a bit like he's a puppet almost. He's definitely got a lot going on where he doesn't feel in charge, or he feels a bit powerless in the decision making and things that are going on and the way that they're judged. I mean, and naturally, right? At this point, they're so big, they're so massive. He's got a lot of weight on his shoulders. So yeah, it tends to put him a little stressed out and overanalyzing inside his own mind. So that's kind of what's coming to the surface for his personality. Again, everyone is so much more than 6 cards. It's just, for my readings to be, you know, in a timely fashion, we only do a small portion. But I'm happy to kind of go back and revisit people and see where their personalities grow and change with time. So we'll definitely be doing more personality readings on him in the future, especially if you guys seem to enjoy this one. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'm gonna get the setup ready for our ideal partner reading. I lay down 6 of the Caroline Miss archetype cards, and then I lay down 6 of the spellcasting oracle cards on top of them, and they work as basically a clarifier for the personality traits that would be ideal or wanted by RM in a partner. I think I have some ideal partner stuff for Jimin. I don't know. I've done readings for Jimin and Jin so far, so I will go ahead and link those. And after I do RM, I will be working through the rest of the members to do either personality, ideal partner, or career readings. So you guys can look forward to that. They are coming. So it just may take a few weeks to work through everyone. So if you want to know when those come out, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss them. So we'll go ahead and start out with the first two cards, which are Magical Child in Shadow and Reconciliation. So in the shadow, it is pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth and reconciliation. So could be he's feeling at a bit of a standstill, or feeling, again, like I was talking about the personality reading, where it's like there's a bit of a helplessness, a bit of an overwhelmed feeling. Maybe feeling like he's not in control of things, so he's not sure what to do. So someone who kind of helps him reconcile those feelings, help him kind of get back in touch with his inner child, almost rekindles a lot of the old feelings of like starting new projects. You know, maybe it's like having to focus on in a new direction, and someone who can kind of bring that new direction, new path, and new childlike passion like back into his life. I feel like if other things are too big, it's about showing him places and things where he can feel in control, and coming to grips with the things that you can't control. Some things will always be out of your control, and there's also a part of that it's freeing to just give it to spirit. And then we have Trickster in the Light and Financial Health. So we have transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior in financial health. So this may be encouragement to invest in new things, build careers in a new direction, like taking away of fear, like of expectations almost. Like it's like when Korean celebrities reach a certain level, they buy a building, they invest in stocks, and they probably either start their own label or become a board member at the current one. So this may be someone around him who can encourage him to think outside of that box and do something else, kind of use money in a new and kind of inventive way, and maybe a less stressful way, and also like leaning on the other cards. You know, I can imagine he probably has a lot of money at this point, so it's just like, well, what should I do? Maybe something that's more interesting and more fulfilling and entertaining than just buying some land, you know? Like maybe encourage him to use his imagination in that aspect a little bit more. And then we have Dilettante and Inspiration, which sounds like an amazing pair. I don't think I could ask for a better two. So Dilettante in the Light is delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So this is like continuing in the arts, but again, in a different direction. This is about someone maybe pushing him to expand on his artistic capabilities and do things, again, people aren't expecting him, but digging into his own inspiration, again, renewing some of that inner child passion to do something new. So we're seeing a pattern here, and sometimes when I do these readings, we'll see each cards, like there's a whole lot of ground to cover and a lot of different things that they're looking for, and then sometimes all the cards really say the same thing in different ways, and you can tell that person is really focused kind of on one aspect that they're really looking for in a partner. So just know, if we're kind of feeling like it's repetitive, it's because this is something that's really important to him, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But and that's why it keeps coming up, because it's really showing that he's not looking for a bunch of variety. He really needs like one thing to help him out. So then we have Goddess and Happiness. And in the Light, Goddess says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So someone who is really confident, at home in their skin, you know, kind of sexy. You know, confidence is sexy too. Yeah, someone who's smart, witty. We say like nature too. Like I feel like someone who's a little bit more like outdoorsy. Someone, you know, again has this like kind of charismatic, like strong life force that really kind of is infectious to the people around them. But I don't know why in my head I definitely just saw someone who's like an academic almost, someone who's like still pursuing studies almost, like someone, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in a medical field or something like that, where there's a lot of school, a lot of study, and you kind of, you know, so maybe it could be even psychological psychology or something like that, almost where you never stop learning. Your job constantly needs you to be certified in new things all the time, and I'm kind of feeling that. But someone who does it with, their joy for it just shines, right? Like you can tell they love what they do, is really kind of what the overarching energy, or someone who is kind of a lifelong student but loves it and loves sharing it and helping people, and like that confidence and that radiance really shines through them. And then we have Divine Child. So this is two aspects now in the shadow that tells us that RM really needs to reconnect with his inner child, the parts of himself, like some of his innocence that he's lost, right? And then so we have the Divine Child and boundaries. So in the shadow, Divine Child says an inability to defend oneself against negative forces and boundaries. So these two cards work perfectly together again, which is just saying like, yeah, he needs to establish boundaries with people who would be taking advantage of him. I feel like in his private life he's really good, but in his professional life he may feel like he's not in a position, again, a little helpless to tell people no. And this may be like, no, you really do have the power to tell people to get lost. You know, I think there's a part of him that's kind of always scared of repercussions, but like he's so far beyond that. I think maybe someone who helps him realize that like it's fine. People can't take anything away from him at this point, because I mean his career really is so massive at this point, and in the future too. And if people don't like him, that's okay. Like, you know, you don't have to win everybody over, and you don't have to be overly nice. So, you know, it's just someone who's encouraging him to have clear and established boundaries, especially maybe in his more professional life as well. Then we have Pioneer and the Light and Dreams. And a lot of these cards are really, really good pairings, actually. Passion for doing and creating what has not been done before, and Dreams. So again, more encouragement to like think outside the box. You don't have to do what everyone else does. Dream is this card in particular is about kind of having that vision for the future, not knowing how to get there, going to sleep and finding like the answer in your dreams, so in the next morning you're ready to kind of take over the world and you have all the tools with you. So as a pioneer, sky's the limit for him. He really can do whatever he wants to, so he shouldn't feel boxed into what is expected of him or what other people tell him to do. There's a lot about him that he needs to kind of go back to the start and, you know, kind of be fearless again. I think he's just really been beat up by the industry and by people around him who take and stress him out and that kind of thing. So he just really needs someone in his corner who encourages him to be himself and feed his artistic side. So that's what I have for RM and his personality and his ideal partner. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I will be doing the rest of the boys soon, and I should have had links to the guys, but I'll have the playlist coming up here any minute, and that'll also share with you the other videos I've done for BTS. So again, please leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much. Also, if you'd like to decide the topics of my future videos, I have a Ko-fi page where you can donate $5 and you can basically pick the topic of my next video. So there's also that, and for commissions, if you want to get personal readings that are not uploaded to the channel, you would get a private link in that case. So please consider. Have a great day. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.